Hey everyone, this is Lindsay from End Ohio's Parent Penalty, and we've had a lot of questions and situations recently where people have found out that their Ohio ISP service plan was changed without their knowledge, without them signing, at the bottom where you sign your name, the guardian or the individual themselves. And we looked into it and we were able to find the Ohio Association of County Boards training where they told service and support administrators and other county board staff that they are able to make changes to these documents without the signature of the person involved or their family. So here is some of that training if you want to learn more.
Um, so yes, in Stark, we make every one of those updates a revision. What we do though is if you do not change money, services, or providers, you don't need signatures. You only need signatures if you're changing money, services, or the provider. If you look at it like this, we all have looked at that OISP. We have all of our service and support assessment areas. And then we transition into the actual support boxes, right? The outcomes in the service support boxes. If you're not changing those outcomes or those service support boxes, you have not changed the delivery of services and it doesn't require signature. All you've done is added information about the person. That's how we've done it. I don't know if DODD will say that's exactly right, but they didn't seem to have a problem with it a couple months ago.
As of the last time, we were good.
This has been a big topic. I know OISP has had a group together that we did bring in folks from the OISP to talk about that. And that's kind of where we got stuck, right? We know that what Ed just said is definitely a revision. But when you really try to say that there's no other circumstance that you would, but obviously if you're changing a ton about a person, we don't want to ever put in writing that if you changed every box except for the service and support summary table and the outcome, we probably need to get signatures, right? So there was where's that line? And I do think some of it is the professionalism. It's who has, does the whole team get the updated revision regardless of whether it's signed?
That's actually the beauty of it,
that's
though.
the beautiful part of it.
So if you're out in the home and you're learning more about this person, say you learn that they hate chicken noodle soup, they just despise it, and you go into the assessment section and you add, they hate chicken noodle soup. Well, now the day program provider who gets this plan will see that as well. And they know chicken noodle soup Thursdays are no longer a cool thing because I don't know if anybody does that. If it does, it seems weird, but you get my point. So it actually helps the communication between providers and the SSAs as well.
Yeah, that was a big discussion because if we're making sure that providers and family and the people, the guardians always have the most current copy, then they'll note the changes. They can note, and it's just whether or not do we really need a signature for that. Mm-hmm. So there was some discussion of maybe the person should sign off. That was one of I know Stacy had said, well, maybe if you're making somebody quality of life issue changes, you would want the person. But the most important thing is that people have the most current copy. Emily's got another. Oh, there's Beth's going to go for it.
Hello. No, I think it's really good discussion. We've had so many conversations about revisions. I know we in the beginning tried to be helpful and develop a document and turned out it wasn't that helpful. And that's okay. But we asked the experts who do it every day to come up with how do we get through this? Revisions, this isn't about Ohio ISP. This isn't about this new template or this process. We've been stuck with when do we get signatures? How do we get those signatures from people that we're struggling with anyway? This doesn't make it easier. It just makes it maybe us come up with some creative ways to do it.
Pause for a moment. When they say people you're struggling with, and this might be a clue as to why they don't want to approach family members or individuals to get those signatures. They don't want to have as many interactions with these folks. That's because of what they think of these folks. And we all learned that at the other OACB conference.
We got a couple more. Greedy. Interesting. That's a good one. Greedy and entitled. That's a
disrespectful, off base.
Lazy.
No high expectations. What'd you say?
No follow through, unapologetic. I'm reading some of the finer ones. Unappreciative.
Mental. I didn't say that.
Somebody just wrote it.
And I think, we have a very low tech solution. So to keep that summary, I think it's most important to make sure that people are on the same page. They know what changed at a glance. We don't want anyone digging through a big plan to see, page 37 changed. So really making sure that we're using that summary. And then, as you said, if a lot changed, when in doubt, get a signature. But I think, I've been asked to participate in part of that work group and trying to solve those answers. And I think it's going to be something that evolves. I think we all know when you absolutely have to have the signatures, but I think we're working through more creative ways to make sure that everyone's on the same page. As we get better with monitoring, to me, that just naturally leads into being better with revision.